Hello, Jen Gilchrist here, your soul alignment and success mentor. Super excited to be here for a week by week angel card reading. I always give my intuitive reading insights on this as well as I go through a week by week breakdown of what you can expect for March and how really you can align with your highest path, your highest energy, and really navigate whatever it is you're currently going through in terms of your growth cycle. I know the last month stirred up a lot of emotions, a lot of energy, a lot of healing through the retrogrades that we had throughout March. And now, as we move into March, we're kind of in this phase of starting to integrate, continuing to integrate, I should say, all of that healing work that we were called to do. And perhaps really starting to get into action, right? There's not a lot of energy that is slowing us back anymore. So it'll be sort of this balance of continuing to integrate your energy and continuing to start to take action on those intuitive gifts that you are being called to share in the world, right? Or whatever it is that you're creating on projects. You'll start to feel more forward movement. When I come in here, say hello, whether you're live or on the replay. It's always really fun to see who's here. Let me open up the chat really quick. I also have two quick announcements while we're getting everyone on here that I don't want you to miss. For 3 days only, I have a flash sale. And this month in March, I tune into the energy psychically each month and do a real reading on like what would be most serving. And this month it was all about procrastination into action. And so I'm doing a workshop bundle that I would say the value is easily $197. I do these monthly workshops on different themes so that we can give you some energy support. And this week for 3 days, actually until March 4th, in present time on 2021, you will get it for $37. And it's all about getting out of procrastination, learning how to having support with healing the deeper inner work and getting out of resistance and into motion. So that's what was coming up for this week's theme. And then also, you may or may not have heard that the doors are open to my Soul Success Unleashed program, which is really all about cultivating your channeling, your clairvoyance, your intuitive gifts, really doing the deeper inner ascension work, cleaning up these deeper level programs that you may have been in, and aligning with your higher path and gifts, but all the while still cultivating your intuitive abilities to read yourself and heal yourself or others. And so I'll share more about that at the end for those that might have questions. I want to dive into today's topic, which is all about the reading for this coming month. So say hello while you're here. Let's see. Hey, Kali, Rhonda, Abram, super excited. And yes, for those of you that have been in the group, or maybe just joining the group, we've been having an awesome time with this 4-day masterclass series. The replays are still available. I gave a lot of very powerful activations that will help you to cultivate your intuitive gifts as well. And those replays are available. So you could just put 4-day series in the comments and I'll make sure you get the replay link if you haven't got a chance to look at them. So I'm just going to pull a couple real quick overview questions or cards, and then we'll dive into the actual week breakdown. What's nice about doing these monthly overviews is it sort of creates this energetic framework. It's like I'm speaking to you, but I'm also speaking to your higher self. And it sort of gives that energetic framework for you to step into more easily, to kind of have an understanding of what's to come, which will help your higher self and yourself really just align into it more easily. This isn't tarot, it's angel tarot, but what they would be considered two major arcana cards for those of you that do like tarot, which are powerful. So the two cards that come up for just like an overall beginning is divine guidance, which is perfect. So again, we talked about this in the 4-day series. If you didn't get to check it out, you might like to learn how you get your divine guidance, right? How we see, feel, think, really tuning in, making time to hear, but also bringing in your spiritual support team and listening to the divine guidance. And I want to say also trusting the divine guidance you've been getting. Right? We had a retrograde, like I said, all through majority of February, which was really calling us inward. And if you gave time and space for that, you likely got a lot of intuitive insights and downloads. And so now it's time to really tune into that and really trust what intuitive guidance you're getting. That's what I get intuitively. If I read the card, it's Archangel Sandalphon. So you may be, if you like to work with angels, Archangel Sandalphon could be one for you. And it says, the search for the meaning of life. Consider an alternative approach and surround yourself with wise teachers or friends. So an alternative meaning to this, I think the overall was pretty accurate for what I'm feeling, but also you might, if you're hitting roadblocks, right? If you're hitting resistance, if you're hitting, and it's like things aren't going smooth, or you're working really hard for little gain, these are all indicators that you might have a little shift of alignment that wants to happen to yield better results, or to feel more ease or more joy, or call in more clients, or whatever it is. So if something's not working, then this is a time to like look at, tune in and ask your spiritual support team, God, your higher self, and just say, what next steps can I take? Really tune in to pivot your action. That could be for some. And also surround yourself with wise teachers or friends. So this is, a beautiful group where you're getting lots of counselings here, but just really surround yourself with like-minded people who can really be in support of your dreams, right? And the next card is peace. And it says, Azrael, Archangel Azrael, release the past. There is more enriching future coming. Let go and let God. And that is really, so it feels like what I was speaking to, we were really being called to amplify a lot of the patterns that we revisit, maybe even patterns we thought we cleared, right? And likely you did on some level. But retrogrades typically show us to review things that are really, we're being called to release and let go of and move on from. And sometimes it takes trust, to cultivate trust and letting go of something that doesn't seem logical, or maybe it's the security of something, and stretching your comfort zone into new can be scary. But Archangel Azrael is encouraging you to let go of the old and release the new, and reminding you you're not alone, right? And really his energy brings about the vibration of peace. And so really handing over the worry, leaning into trust, leaning into your team, and allowing the support to guide you, and really handing over the worry and being into peace. Like that can be a daily. I know I got a lot of questions throughout the 4-day series around, anxiousness or busy mind. And, that's an entire workshop. I have entire programs around this, right? So that's a big question, but it is, one quick tip is, it's like a ping pong match sometimes in our mind. And as soon as you become aware, you can hand over the worry. It's like that monkey mind's going. It's like, hand it over to the angels, tune back into peace. 5 minutes later, it's happening again. Hand it over, tune back in, right? Sometimes we have to do that when we're trudging through, big change or intense times. So there's just the overall. So now let's go into the week by week. Hey, Dara, Cheryl, Carol, Eric. Great to see you guys here. Okay. So let's do the week of February 1st through the 7th. What do we need to know to align to our higher path? That is my intention. This is a group reading, so there's not individual cards, but if you set your intention, I trust you'll get your answer if you feel called to be listening. Okay, so the first 3 cards, I'm going to pull 4 cards, I guess, for this row. Okay, so the first card is the Age of Light. The Age of Light. And it says, you have been training for this for lifetimes. I love that, right? This is speaking to, this isn't your first rodeo. You have a lot of wise information. They always say that you have all the answers within. And I know sometimes from this human vantage point, when we get into our fears or our emotions, we can sometimes not feel like that's true, but it really is. And so this is really a validation, really, that you're an old soul, that you have a lot of gifts. You are super powerful. You have the information within you. Tune in and really tap into that creator self that you are, and really trust your gifts. And I want to say, have confidence in your gifts, right? Many of you have been called to write books, to speak, to write, to be healers, to be counselors or coaches. And so this is really about trusting your gifts, right? Having that confidence that you have so much information that is healing to others as well. And so this is really a lot of different cards here. And I'm also saying tune in, tune in. I read a lot intuitively. And so I'm just seeing like that alignment to that pillar of light, that access to your higher self, really get out of your head and into opening up to that higher amount of information that you have, that you are. Right? That you can tap into at any time from this lifetime or past lifetimes or parallel lifetimes, future lifetimes, right? From all sorts. And then you can also tune in and ask source directly, or your angels, for, helping other intuition or having other insights, right? Take a break. It says, life is a work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. So this is leaning into this idea that maybe you've been pushing or working really hard. Last month was that retrograde period. And so it's a call to slow down. And sometimes I know, when we slow down, we feel more. And so sometimes one way that resistance will manifest is through busying, right? Staying busy, not being quiet, keeping things on the calendar, or feeling like you have to push or work really hard and get all this done and do everything today. And, that energy, right? But when we do that, we're in like a little bit can get off balance in that masculine. We need both masculine and feminine, and we all have both energies, but that masculine can start to push towards burnout when it's out of balance. And so this is really a call to make sure that tune into your feminine. Are you taking rest? Are you having fun? Are you making play dates? Are you allowing yourself that quiet time to receive? So realizing that the bigger vision of this whole thing is that I know that we can feel this urgency to get going. And I do feel March is an action oriented month. But especially if you didn't give yourself the time last month, you may not feel like you have the energy. So give that space to yourself so that you can actually have the energy to move forward. And sometimes just one day break, one walk at the ocean, one day of painting or playing or doing something, out in nature can be really powerful. And I know people are all around the world. Hey, Elizabeth. Hey, Melissa. All right. So just opening up the comments, making sure I'm seeing. So the next card is Grandmother of Jesus, Anna. It says sending light and laying the foundation and divine plan. So this is beautiful. As I look at this as a whole, right? You have all the answers within. Life work is not a season. It's a whole process, right? You're laying the foundation for the divine plan. So this feels like a great validation of what you're doing and what you've been doing, and to just be patient with the process, be present with the process, and know that you are laying the foundation for your divine mission and your life purpose. I know those that are attracted to me are, feel, whether you identify with the term light worker or soul purpose, or just have an inner calling or desire to be of service in the world in some form or fashion, or to share your story to help uplift or inspire others, right? Like all of those things are part of your bigger divine plan that your soul decided before you came in. You have everything you need within you. You are divinely supported. Make sure that you are tuning in and taking the rest and tuning into your intuition, and just trust that you are laying the plan and you're not alone. The last card for this week is Omega Dragon. Oh, I love this. Oh, and this is all, I've got like 10 decks out, guys. This is very much all feminine energy here for this first week. And it says, harness the divine feminine power of creation, right? Tuning in, and first of all, releasing and making space is the first step of the creation process. Then we got to tune into our inspiration and our intuition and our guidance. And then we need to take action on the fruition of these things, right? And so hold your intention for that bigger vision, but then be back present for the day-to-day, one or two steps at a time that your intuition will feed you. So we'll just leave those there. Let me know how these are resonating as we go, Carol. I love the dragons. Me too. And this is perfect also for some of you, if you feel like you're in that busying time, or not, like you're on the treadmill, or you're working and you're kind of in that mode, then you may enjoy this month's topic, the flash sale for the workshop series. If you're just joining on for 3 days, $37, an entire module plus the live bonus clearing on the topic of really moving through and transforming your resistance, right? Procrastination to action is the topic, but it's really bigger than that. It's how does our resistance manifest and how can we move through it? So that might be for you if you're experiencing that, or if you're just experiencing anything like lagging on getting in action with your soul's work, right? So all that is fear manifests into all these different forms of resistance. Okay, the next week, March 8th through 14th. I'm feeling a lot with these Rebecca Campbell Work Your Light cards today. And the dragons. So we're just going to keep going with that for this one, and we'll see what else wants to come through. Thanks you guys for joining. I know I didn't announce this except 10 minutes before I went live. I wasn't sure for sure when I'd have time to put this in, but I definitely I had some space and I wanted to get it going for our month. So the second week, breaking the chain. So ancestral patterns, healing, rewrite the future. So you're still continuing that integration work from all the stuff that's probably been stirring up for the last year. Let's be honest, we have all been in a big growth cycle, right? A big growth cycle throughout this whole experience. And then definitely what's been highlighted the last month or so. But realize that you're breaking the chain for ancestral patterns. And this is also a sign that you're an old soul, a sign that you're here to help create change. When you are the one who is here, maybe doing something different than your family, you might be the one who's the most conscious or awake in the family line, and you get to break those lineage of patterns for future generations, right? And it actually, when we do this healing work, the beautiful thing is even if our family doesn't understand it, it is helping them heal too, both directions, going backwards and going forward. And I've seen this absolutely with my family. They are very more conservatively Christian religious based, and so they don't understand all the spiritual path or tuning into your intuition, all this stuff. They don't live with that in their experience, but I've watched them benefit greatly from directly from the healing work that I've been doing, right? And they'll never correlate that, and that's okay. Right. So this is powerful. And then for our children and for future generations, this is how we're changing the collective as a whole. And so we have come in to make these changes, and that can be intense. And that's the crux of a lot of work that I do, especially in the soul success. My monthly workshops, for sure. This month we're rewriting patterns in this form, but in my Soul Success Unleashed program, especially, we're really moving through a lot of that. So if you feel guided to be breaking family generational change, just know that you are here for that purpose. And sometimes it feels like you are the odd man out or misunderstood, but really you are a very powerful spiritual being, right? And you're doing this work not only for yourself first, but then also for those around you, and then also for the collective at large, and how that ripple effect of our personal healing affects those around us, which is really powerful. And so get grounded. Empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. And so grounding is one of the most important steps, really. And this is something I teach on a lot, is really getting fully grounded so that you can really release, right? So you can really be present in your body and actually let go of and release all of those patterns and emotions, really, that also get stuck in our body. So it's really important to address those things as you go through. That feels like a next step. If you can get nature, put your feet on the ground, getting some water, that's great. And if it's not the weather for it, still you can bundle up and take a walk, or just really practice grounding at the base of your spine to the earth. In the 4-day series that we just did, and the replays will be up until the March 18th, we did a lot of grounding and clearing. So that could be a meditation that might help you too. So you can put 4-day series if you didn't get those replays or you'd like them. Inner temple devotion, tune into the portal of your heart, right? So so we want to get grounded, we want to release, we want to work with the earth, work with source, and then really tuning into the power of your heart, right? Really getting present in your body, really expanding your heart chakra is that connection to your desires, right? It's a connection to source, it's connection to a lot of things. And so really being in your heart and really expanding your heart is a powerful aid to transformation. Oh, and then I don't really look at these until I get to them, but pillar of light. So your vibration is raising. You are the oracle. And so this is, we did a couple of exercises around the pillar of light, where you're grounding really deep and then expanding your energy and then elevating all your chakras to that chakra column above and below to source, and really embodying your higher self and really embracing that. And that is part of your ascension process, right? That's part of our ascension journey, is as we continue to evolve spiritually, we're opening up to higher frequencies, and then we got to come back down and ground it to our body. Well, in order to ground it into our body, first we have to be super actually grounded. I know a lot of empaths and sensitives that I meet before we go through my Soul Success Unleashed course and my energetic mastery program. When they take it, they go, wow, I didn't know I wasn't actually grounded. So really sometimes expanding your grounding, really working on grounding even more, because when we ground into our body, we feel all the things that haven't been processed, which is actually an important part of our journey, but also can feel uncomfortable, right? And so this is where I often see that highly sensitive and empathic people kind of like it up here, a little out of their body, up in the upper chakras, because it feels lighter. But when that's great, because we expand and we're grabbing that knowledge, but now we need to embody that so that we can manifest in the physical form, so that we can take action, so that we can really embrace and embody that pillar of light, so that we can be. And when you do that, you're going to manifest more quickly. You're going to raise your vibration so you don't attract as many problems. As we do the deeper inner work, we actually get to embody more light. When we don't process that inner stuff, then it's like kind of like that lower vibration is stuck there. So the high vibration can't, take over that area of your body where you might be holding on to something. So as we do this process, we're toggling, and we're actually, as we release some pain that was stuck, well, then now we get to embody more light, and then we release more, and then now we get to embody more light. And pretty soon we're raising our vibration as we go through the ascension journey, right? Does that make sense? You're welcome, Gary. So glad that you're here. Hey, Kim. Yes, you see, I'm not sure if I'm saying your name, Slajana. if you can and phonetically put it out there. I love saying people's name correctly, so I apologize if I'm not. But she sees positive changes for your son. I love that. And your energy brought me into the chance to clear karma, which came from a test with my guides of how I would react, and I passed. Yay! You're so welcome. So you're a part of this series. I'm so glad to hear that. It was deep, right? We did a lot of deep transformation work, so that's really powerful. I'm glad you're seeing changes. The Atlantean Dragon, Golden Atlantean Dragon, says he helps you remember the wisdom of Golden Atlantis. I love that. I definitely resonate. I have memories from the Atlantean energy and times and knowledge. And it says, awaken and bring back your knowledge, reclaim your mastery. So this goes back to the very first card that you have been training for this for lifetimes, right? This is about claiming your wisdom and claiming your knowledge. So it could be directly with Atlantis since this came into play. And I believe that we're a lot of us that resonate with that. I know I do. And so this could be specific from those times, but I also feel like into all of your eternal ancient wisdom, all the different times that you have been here, really fully empowered in your gifts so that you can actually continue to use them in this present day. Okay, so let's move on to the third week. So the third week is the 14th through 21st. So the 14th through 21st. What do we need to know? What's going to help us align with this energy? Another thing I did that's coming to mind right now is I did an annual reading like this where I did the whole breakdown for the whole year. So if you'd like that, that's always a nice way to also set the energy and framework for the year and then come back to these month by months. You might like that. You can type annual. I haven't shared that in a while since the beginning of the year, but that's still, valuable for the whole year. I don't know. I guess this Work Your Magic deck is kind of part of it. Okay. So the third week, Savoring Pleasure. And this does go back to take a break. So all month, we're going to be kind of toggling in this. I feel we're integrating. So even though there's a lot of forward motion, we're being called to take action on our inspired ideas. We're going to need to do it from a very balanced place, from the balance of the feminine and masculine energy. And so this says Savoring Pleasure. It says, I fully embrace bliss in my life. And I do see a hot bath. So it could be hot salt bath. I love sitting in my hot tub. Water, I see aroma like essential oils, bringing flowers into your house, like different ways that you can savor the pleasure. Stop and smell the roses kind of comes to mind. But I feel like just bringing that into your life, putting it in your calendar, right? We work and we have all these to-dos and we will give our time to everybody else and to our clients and to our family and to our children or whatever that is for you. Sometimes we forget ourselves, right? So this is a reminder to put yourself on the table and book something. I know my daughter and I got massages and pedicures this week because I was exerting a lot of energy for the 4-day series. And so I know I need to put back into my body. And so you got to balance that give and take, right? As we do more exertion or give more of our energy, we actually need to allow ourselves to receive more, or we'll hit that burnout and we'll actually stop our growth to a certain degree. So this also feels like bringing just in more fun, more play, more joy, relax. I see music, all kinds of things that could be there to just bring you joy. What is your bliss? Type in the comments. What do you like to do to bring in some play and some joy and some bliss? I've been feeling like painting. I haven't done that all year. Okay. Believing in magic. True magic is abounding in my life. And so part of this is now we're like, really, and again, both of these are really powerful in terms of like all the different possibilities and all the different ways. So, and I am seeing dolphin in this believing in magic, which is always about play and joy and bliss, right? Having fun. But then believing in magic also speaks to, using your creative power. You're a conscious creator. You're totally available and capable of manifesting whatever it is your desire, right? And so part of that is staying in that belief. So the belief in the possibility, the belief and the confidence that it's all happening for you. The universe works with you, never against you, and that you actually are the powerful creator and that you can co-create with the universe in a way that is beautiful for everyone involved, and that you actually can create anything you desire. If you have a desire in your heart, then the way is there, right? And so really just allowing yourself. So I'm also feeling like, committing to your morning routine, because that's a combination of this quiet inner work, which is where we hear our inner voice and we get quiet with being able to be in that visualization and journaling and writing and creating our life into existence, right? This is the place that we do it. And when we take that time, we can also rewrite any of the things that it says believing in magic. So that also tells me there could be a little lack of faith or a lack of trust or a little impatience with the timing, or sometimes we have to be open to receive it, and we have to really be embodying that truth that this is available to us and that we can do it and that we deserve to receive it. And so sometimes it's about resetting the mind, right, through your I am statements, through the deeper inner work that I love to do in my work, and lots of many people do, right? Where you go into doing some of that inner child healing, or noticing and catching yourself in like the whole life is hard, or that's a lot of work, or I can't afford it, like those kinds of things. When we become aware of it, those are things to rewrite in your morning routine, right? And catch yourself, because those are the things that are stopping you, right? That's the stuff, that's the misalignment that we need to address on a deeper level, and really rewrite our future and really stand in that belief that it's all possible and it's all coming to us and it's all happening for us. And we have spiritual support team to help with that, right? I love working with my spirit team. And this one says the ever unfolding rose cracked open. I swear I don't read these first. It's happening for you, not to you. And I kept feeling that. It's like the universe is working for you, never against you. And so this is, if you're feeling like you're get stuck in this, and I feel like this procrastination workshop that I have for $37 this month is going to be really powerful, because it's all about moving through any of that resistance and reframing and rewriting, and really noticing that we have to first be aware of where we are blocking ourselves. Where are we kind of getting in our own way? Where are we feeling victim to a circumstance? Where are we giving our power away to the finances, or giving our power away to another person that we see is like, so then when we're blaming outside of ourselves, or if we feel resistant even to what we're experiencing, or not satisfied, or feel like jealous of other people's success, like these are just ways that we're human, we're going to experience. But the key is the awareness of that. When we feel that, that's when we can pause and pivot and do the inner work and really align with, well, what is my part in this relationship dynamic? What is my part within my financial situation? Like, where's my point of power? Because personal responsibility is your point of power, right? And then we can start to notice, okay, well, I have some cleanup work to do here. I'm acknowledging that. But now we can pivot and change and start to really rewrite our mindset, revisualize and realign with that higher path. And so that's what I'm seeing, is just really not to get stuck. So this week 3 could be just really managing, noticing, where are you in alignment? Where are you out? Where's your mindset and your beliefs holding you back? Where are you giving away your power, and how can you take it back, right? How can we really be in our power with pivoting and doing our part with the inner healing work, so that we can take new action in a way that's aligned, right? And really embody that true belief that it's happening. Activated earth, power places, ley lines, and trust where you're led. I love that. And it reminds me of the Earth Star. So the Earth Star chakra being more activated for people, which is below your feet, really helps to guide you a bit. But also just tuning in and connecting with the earth, really connecting with the earth energy, and really tuning into your intuition and allow yourself to be led. I'm so waiting for travel. I'm ready for travel, so there could be a power place that you're guided to go at some point. I know I had a 14-day trip to Egypt on the calendar for this year that got postponed a year. I can't wait, because I know that that's going to be a powerful, like, transformational shift. Sedona, Hawaii, but it could also just be merely simply connecting with the energy of the earth and really allowing it to guide you, allowing yourself to be soul led in that way. And then if you do feel called to a certain place, do it if you can, right? Get it on the calendar, even if it's a ways out. Okay, so the next week 4 is the 21st through 28th. So we're going to do the 21st through 28th. Let me know how this is resonating. Really amazing, totally resonating, awesome. I'm so stuck, Jennifer. I know. Sometimes just tune in, like you tune into your body. That TLC meditation. If you were here in the first post, I have my 4-day series replays, but then there's also a resource at the bottom that says TLC meditation. You can tune into that, right? And actually, I'm teaching you a process around taking that TLC meditation a lot deeper and really learning to transform and get unstuck. So you may be perfect for the workshop because that's what we're doing. We're getting unstuck because we can all feel stuck. So you're not alone in that. You're amazing. You're awesome. Tune in and just feel what is that deeper emotion that you're feeling, and how can you start to really take one baby step at a time. And it's mostly often about tuning back in and pausing and realigning through that feminine energy and through that retreat space, and then through nurturing our body. And then we can get the intuitive idea to start to take new action. But sometimes they're deeper healing work. So just know that even being stuck is an opportunity. It is very awesome opportunity, actually, for healing and for change and for spiritual growth that'll lead you in the right direction. Right. So sometimes it's also showing us a misalignment. And then sometimes it's our fear stopping us from stretching our comfort zone. Right. So, like, for instance, I know many people are called, like for me, visibility fear. I was called and it's like, okay, I want to share. I'm like, oh, but now I got to speak and I got to do videos. Are you kidding me right now? Like, oh, so I do a lot of inner work around that. Right. That was my resistance of like facing a fear so that I could move forward. And so there might be something there as well. And this is kind of for everyone, right? I'm sure that you're definitely not alone in that. Rainbow Dragon. So week 4 brings leaps of joy that opens new doors. I love it. So we were, in the beginning, it's a lot of reflection, internal time, tuning in, really having confidence. And then it's like, okay, we're managing our mindset. We're starting to take action, but we might be hitting some stuff, fear, resistance. And then now it's like, okay, as long as we're doing our work, then we can really just tune into that joy. And when we tune into joy, like, it reminds me this card. Which card was it? I feel like it was in week 3. Yeah, I'm not sure, but it was the one, about tuning into joy, like revisioning, right? So again, when you tune into joy and you tune into your passion and you allow creativity to come through you, you get inspired ideas, you get reignited with energy, you get new ideas you didn't see were possible. And then we can focus our mindset on more of what we want to have instead of what we are experiencing that we don't want, right? Now we're consciously creating. And part of that is by tapping into the energy of joy. And when we're in that energy of gratitude, right? So a gratitude journal is another great tool. We start to shift out of the lack and into focus forward and out of this past and all of the stress and all of the stuck. And we start focusing on what it is we want to create and that energy of what's available to us that we want to tap into. That's based in that joy and that passion and that enthusiasm. Then you're in your point of power, right? And so then it is about continuing that trust, right? Continuing to rediscover that, expecting the miracles and accept opportunities, saying yes. Sometimes we're saying no with our energy. Sometimes we're saying no out of fear. Sometimes we're just saying no because we're not actually even open to seeing all the doors of miracles. Like, we make a prayer, an intention, and it's like the angels are like trying to show us all these miracles. And then we're like not even seeing it because we're tunnel visioned on the problem or what we don't want. And so part of that is shifting, and then you'll start to see new opportunities. And then we have to say yes, right? I had to say yes to a program that was a big investment to learn my biggest fear. Because why? I knew that facing my fear of speaking was bigger than it became. At a certain point, I was, I was willing to embrace and face those visibility fears because I felt really unfulfilled, not fulfilling my purpose. Like, my soul was calling me and calling me. And I knew if I didn't do it, I would just be prolonging it. Right. So I was like, okay, do the inner work, take one step at a time. Right. And so this is all really important. We have to be open to receiving the opportunities and seeing them. And that's important that we shift our mindset focus, which was being called out in week 3. And then you have to just keep rewriting it in your morning routine about being able to see the miracles, believe the miracles, stand in your confidence, know your value, see yourself signing books. If you want to write a book, visualize that, write it out. You want to write that stuff in present tense. You're amazing. You're so welcome, Eric. I'm glad this is helpful. Isis. Yeah, Isis is a powerful Egyptian goddess. Beautiful. Susanna, this is just a group reading. Sometimes I do individual readings sometimes where I'll do individual readings. In fact, I'll probably put one on the calendar in the next week or two. So you guys want to hit follow me so that when I go live, you'll know. And I'll do individual readings, but this is like the monthly group. So I'm sure if you're here, this is for you as well, for everyone feeling called. My intention is always. So giving birth to new ideas, I'm bringing forth new dynamic energy in the world, right? Through our spiritual growth, we're birthing something new. We're birthing more. We're birthing your ideas and your desires and your hopes and your dreams into existence. But it's also your transformational work that you're doing is healing the world just because your energy, right? Your energy is healing. The term light worker, light bearer, change agent. All of that is about, first and foremost, our own internal healing and spiritual growth process. And as we do that and raise our vibration and our energy is healing to those around us, even if we never speak to them. Just going in a bank or traveling to another city, we're inspiring and eliciting healing based on our high vibration that allows others to now match that vibration, all on just a spiritual level. If they're ready to receive it, they will. If they're ready to rise, they will. And so in that way, our high energy starts to dissolve and transmute the lower vibrations around us. That's part of our job, right? In terms of, or part of what's happening. And then as we do that, many of those that follow me, and that's why my work, like the Soul Success Unleashed program, is like deeply about transformation and spiritual ascension, but then also learning skills to navigate your own stuff, right? So you got to take those skills and really do that inner work. And then as you do that, you're bringing new energy to the world that is healing. Then many of you might have this inspiration to be a support to others, right? Share your journey through speaking and writing, be a counselor, be a psychic, a healer, a reader, or even, in a mainstream job, having this level of alignment, like as a nurse, having a super aligned high vibration as a nurse, or in the government, or in some other position, is super powerful, because now we're bringing consciousness to foundational systems that need to be revised, right? That's what we're seeing. We're seeing a big collective dark night of the soul, which is a good thing, because these old paradigms they're not going into the higher vibration of the future, the new earth. And so how great when we're in position and have all these conscious leaders and all these children that have their gifts wide open, that never, all the souls are coming in more and more tuned in, which is great, because as they get older, they're going to be all the teachers, they're going to be all in the government, it's all of that. But for those of you following me, many of you are more, taking your journey and sharing that with others. And then we have this ripple effect that collectively, with our unique gift and message, changes the world. Makes me want to cry. Like, I just feel like so excited about that. And you do that. What is it? It's your own internal healing first, and then the steps will follow. So giving birth to new ideas. And it's just beautiful. And I see, like, Holy Spirit, I see, I love working with Jesus and Mother Mary in a non-religious way. They're there to support you. And I know sometimes, people have a lot of religious, people have their perceptions on that, but I always find their energy and just working direct with source very healing. But I'm definitely seeing that up here, and that reminder that spirit is with you and you're not alone. And yeah, it's a birthing process. So also be gentle with yourself. The next card is Air Dragon, and it says, help you rise above earthly matters. So this is beautiful. So week 3, just pay attention to your mindset, right? And give yourself space during this time to really integrate these things as they're coming up. Communicate honestly and bring inspiration and hope. See life from a higher perspective. And then this is a lot what I talk about with your clairvoyant space. Yes, it's a lot around visualization and seeing things. So when you're really owning your clairvoyant center, you're fast at manifesting, and you can see pictures and those kind of things. And I know people get frustrated when they feel like they can't. But let me tell you, that was day 3 of the activation series. If you missed it, really powerful. We did a big clearing and healing on it, on activating your third eye. But one of the biggest features is that you can zoom up into the space of neutrality. Your third eye, even if you're not seeing visual pictures, has many other benefits. And that is zooming out to the spiritual vantage point, coming out of the ego and into the spiritual higher self perspective, where you can rise above the drama and the earthly matters that might be feeling like, I don't know what to do with that, right? I don't know how to fix that. But when we zoom up to our third eye and we really look at and zoom out to the spiritual perspective, we start to immediately, first of all, dissolve and heal. And we start getting uncaught up into the drama, and we actually start to tune into that higher truth. And then we can easily pivot and say, okay, well, what's my next aligned action, right? We can see our part within it. We start to heal. We start to shift and pivot our actions, because we're tapped back into that higher perspective and truth, right? Your third eye is also about seeing spiritual truth, a truth from a lie, or seeing if is this aligned or misaligned, right? Like, what is the right direction for me? So this is really about arising above earthly matters and having that spiritual perspective, which often, I say this a lot, is super important. Your morning routine. This is why it's not a one and done. It's never a one and done, because every time we grow and expand, like, our nature of who we are as spiritual beings is to continue to create. And this is a beautiful thing, right? But every time we create something new, a new set of fears and things to transform comes through. And that's why I love empowering people to trust their intuition, to cultivate their intuition gifts, give them tools to transform their resistance, because this stuff doesn't ever just end, right? It gets easier. Instead of having like these really hot, like these highs and then these long lows, like maybe you did prior to your awakening. Now it's like more like rolling hills. You can navigate more easily. It doesn't derail you for months. It maybe just be a day or a week or an hour, right? Because in that moment, you start to now have more spiritual tools. You start to raise your vibration, which transmutes a lot of the lower fear stuff. And then you're more in your spiritual higher self integration, which is that spiritual ascension journey. So it's tuning in, and in your morning routine, you're reinforcing that. You're reinforcing that. You're reinforcing that. You're reinforcing out of the ego and into redirecting where you're going and calling in your support, and then tapping into your intuition, and then getting those signs throughout the day. Right. And that's really the way that you keep going. And that's how you're going to give birth to the new ideas and your new gifts. Oh, I love it. Receiving from angels, shimmering rings of angels embrace me with love. And this is just that reminder that you are not alone, right? For those of you that didn't see the 4-day series, day one, we talked a lot about how to communicate with your angels and really call in your angels. And we did an activation. But this is something that you want to ask every day, because we have free will of choice. We always have free will of choice. And so we have to keep leaning into opening up to that. And when we do, miracles abound, right? Because when we don't, we feel isolated, we feel alone, we feel stuck, we feel worried, we feel hopeless, we feel powerless, right? And that's like, we've all been there. But as soon as we have the awareness that we're there, we hand it over, we take our power back, we take responsibility. Okay, what's this trying to show me right now? What is my deeper work that needs to be here? We transform it, we reassess, we realign with where we want to go, and we come out of worry and we go into hope, right? And then we start getting into passion, into joy, into creation. And then, but we've got our spiritual support team. So we don't have to know all the how and the answers. We just have to re-pivot ourselves, right? And keep into that process. So that's how you just keep yourself going. Valerie, no worries. The replay will be here. Perfect timing as well. Hey, Cindy, loving this. Awesome. You're resonating with it all. Jennifer, beautiful. Beautiful. I see the impact of my energy on people in ordinary daily situations, exchanges of smiles and a few kind words. So much that brightens people's days. And I've had times like too, I've heard stories, like I've had this experience myself, but I had listen to somebody, and she said, yeah, she was just posting an inspirational quote every day on her Facebook meme, not even really selling, just sharing a quote that she saw on another page. And somebody finally said, gosh, you've made such an impact in my life over the last 6 months. I go to your page every day just to get some inspiration. It's like, well, we are inspiring people when we don't know it, through the little things, right? And then that makes us feel good too. And then I think many of you are called to share in a big way. So let me know how this resonates. I want to make sure you guys are aware of 2 exciting invitations for you guys. Actually, I have a few announcements here. So for those of you that didn't do the 4-day series, the replays are still available. They're here in the group. I can email them all to you until March 18th. Super powerful. Highly suggest it. I have a flash sale. This is a program. I do a monthly workshop series. So for those of you that are new in the group, each month I do it. I tune in intuitively to the energy of who will be watching and who's in need. And I come up with a theme that I feel is relevant. And then I create a whole program, like a little mini course around it. It's valued at $197. It's a, what you'll get is a video training, around 30. This one might be 40 minutes of a video training on a topic. And then you get a workbook with alignment activations, a clearing activation or meditation journey, resources. Then we do a live group clearing and healing. And whether you're live or on the replay, and also Q&A, right? And you can always submit questions ahead of time. So if you're a replay viewer, I include that in the healing and the reading. So all that is really would be like a piece of a program, which is $197, right? The value wise, for sure, easily. But I sell it on my site for $57 because I want to be able to help people continually and get to know me, but then also just help you without as big of a commitment. But for a flash sale, the first 3, the Tuesday through, I'm just kind of educating you because this is a system all year. Okay. Tuesday through Thursday, you're going to get a flash sale deal for that monthly special. And right now we have a flash sale. If you're listening to this in the present time, March 2nd through March 4th. And this month's theme is called Turn Procrastination into Action. And this is really beyond just procrastination, right? It can look like spinning into busy work, leading to overwhelm and not getting results. It can look like self-doubt, leaving you frozen from taking action. It can leave you in lack of clarity, right? Where confusion creeps in and it keeps you from moving forward, right? It can come in so many different ways. Really, we're transforming you. I'm teaching you how to transform resistance, right? And to move through those fear and transform the resistance. And so that is available, and I put the link in this description. So, and then the second thing, so if that resonates for you, $37 is really a great way to get some support. Okay. The second thing I have is, you might have heard, is the Soul Success Unleashed program is actually, doors are open for enrollment again. I know many watched my series last time, wanted to know when I was doing it again. And this is for you, whether you're completely new to your intuition and your gifts, or you've already been using it. I have people who have been healers for 20 years come in and say, already doing readings, saying, wow, my skills are so much more acute. And I did so much healing in my journey, in my own inner process, I was not expecting. It's amazing, right? And then new people who didn't know what a chakra was are now reading auras, right? So during your time, you're going to exponentially speed up your ascension journey. We're going to clear a lot of the generational patterns and karmic patterns and inner fears. We're just like, seriously, move through so much, which will make you a much more conscious manifester, allow you to align to your higher path and purpose. Really, people are awakening. People are starting their Facebook groups. I'm so excited watching some of my people that are in the course or have gone through it expand into their gifts with confidence. But you're also going to learn a set of skills: how to do readings, how to access the Akashic records, how to work with your spiritual support team at a deep level. And there's healing and activations all the way through, but also a very clear framework to help you give full reading sessions. Like, you could use this as an entry point to your work, or use it in your coaching or in your healing gifts, alongside of it, or just use it for yourself to identify your own self-defeating patterns, right? So that you can align more fully. It's a very fabulous course for inner work, for learning skills, tangible skills, but ascension journey, embody more light. We activate all the fifth dimensional activations. We do DNA activation. So, again, it's kind of set up similarly in the sense that you get your training module each week, workbook, and activations. Then we have a live call each week, but it is set up also that if you can't make the live calls with all the time zones, you don't miss anything. I'm very, very, very active in the Facebook group. If you have questions via email, you can submit questions ahead of time. So you don't have to be live, but it's great if you can. My team also hosts 3 optional practice sessions a week. So each week you learn something. We take it deeper on the live call, but then you get a practice with your peers. You get a practice doing readings. And this is beautiful for gaining confidence, moving through fear and doubt, honing your skill. But during this time, you're also giving and receiving, right? You're receiving insights and receiving healing back and forth to help you get unstuck and move through and see things. When we read somebody else's energy, even if you don't think you can, you will be. Trust me, you're going to get the validation in the practice that you are actually seeing a mirroring. Like, the synchronicity of who you get partnered up with is amazing, because you can read it in them. Oh my gosh, this is a mother pattern about not receiving or giving, not speaking up and letting, somebody else have power. That's just the female's job or whatever. This is just making it up. But then chances are you have that match, right? And so in that reading, you're actually healing each other. The style of reading I do is very powerful. You saw one aspect of it in the group aura reading I did last week. If you were here for the series, the replays in the group. But when I do the group aura readings, you're going to learn how to do that for yourself, for individuals. But it heals in the moment. And then also you're going to really get activated to a lot of healing attunements, like the Christ light healing you'll be able to use on yourself or others. There's a lot of healing tools and a ton of bonuses. You get my whole energetic mastery program with 2 live calls. That's the foundation, which is all about how to have meditation tools and spiritual tools to not absorb everyone's energy around you, and how to walk through life connected above and below with your higher self, all that, right? That's life-changing in itself. All right. But that's what we start with. And then we build on that with the whole Unleashed program. And the Unleashed is 8 weeks, but really you're going to get 10. Honestly, you'll probably even get closer to 12 weeks of around, but I'm going to promise 10, because there's 2 bonus calls and then we kick into the 8 weeks. And then I sometimes we'll have some bonus things at the end that we can do just to make sure everyone's fully integrating into the lessons as well as they can, right? And so people always get more than they expect from it. And it's just so amazing to see these changes. And these are gifts and tools that you can take with you and support you in continuing to use as inner work tools. So those are the 2 things I wanted to mention. The both of them, that's open enrollment until March 18th in 2021, if you're seeing this live or in the replay, right? So those are those two things. The other thing I think came up in this reading is, the replays, and then I have the annual reading. If you guys want that, you can type annual and I'll share that. I haven't shared that in a while. That was kind of a resource that popped up that might be helpful as well. So that is all I have for you today. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your afternoon. It's always fun to do these. Let me see. Okay, see Kim, thank you. Kelly's already jumping in there with the links for you. None of the links. Oh, I think I'm in a different comments. Let me go back to the right comments. All right, I might have to try another time in a class. No problem. I mean, I don't know exactly when I don't have it sat on the calendar. It'll probably be a few months out. I would like the annual reading. Okay, we'll definitely get back to you with that. Let me see if there's any more comments here. That's all I can see at the moment on Facebook. I hope I didn't miss anything. I will come back and view them for sure to make sure I didn't miss anybody, and especially to give you guys the links that you guys were asking about, because I see some of you asking for sure. You're so welcome, Angelica. You're welcome, Amber. Rhonda, I will get that to you. And Amber, I see as well. Okay, have a wonderful day. I'll look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.